I had always trusted my wife, Leena. We had been married for over a decade, shared a life together, built a home, and raised our children. Trust was the foundation of our relationship, or so I thought. One evening, as I was looking for my wallet in her handbag, I stumbled across something that made my blood run cold. A small, discreet package of Lube and a few Viagra pills. At first, I couldn't believe my eyes. My mind raced, trying to rationalize what I was seeing. Was this a joke? Did she have some medical need she hadn't mentioned? Or was it something far more sinister? Evidence of a betrayal I hadn't anticipated. My first instinct was anger, confrontation. Questions that I was sure would explode into a night of accusations and tears. But then, a strange clarity hit me. Arguing, yelling, or exposing my discovery immediately would only escalate the situation. I needed to think, to act, and to reclaim control in a way she wouldn't expect. I put the items back in her purse, careful to disturb nothing else, and went to bed as if nothing had happened. I spent the night thinking, weighing options. Confrontation felt reactive. Ignoring it felt like weakness. Then a wilder idea emerged, one that was clever, discreet, and guaranteed to make a point without a fight. Swapping the items with something completely harmless, but utterly unpleasant. By morning, I had a plan. I purchased a small bottle of brilliant green, a chemical solution with a distinctive, strong taste and color, completely harmless but intensely noticeable. I carefully removed the contents from her purse and replaced them with the brilliant green. The Lube and Viagra were safely tucked away where she couldn't find them, while the swap ensured that any attempt to use the items would immediately backfire. I didn't say a word. I acted as normal, keeping my calm, maintaining the illusion that nothing had happened. I knew Leena, and I knew she would assume that if she didn't see the items, everything was fine. The anticipation of what would happen when she tried to use them filled me with a quiet sense of satisfaction. A lesson delivered without confrontation, without anger, but with undeniable impact. That evening, she went into the bedroom and retrieved her purse. I stayed in the living room, pretending to read, listening for the reactions I knew were coming. A few moments later, a muffled exclamation followed by confused shouting reached my ears. "What the hell?" she screamed. I didn't move, didn't intervene, just let the sound unfold. Moments later, she stormed into the living room, her face a mixture of shock, frustration, and disbelief. "Did you do this?" she demanded, holding the purse and the now useless items in her hands. I looked up calmly, pretending mild surprise. "Do what?" I asked innocently, my voice steady, my expression neutral. She shook the purse at me, unable to hide her astonishment. This stuff, it's ruined. There's something wrong with it." I leaned back, sipping my tea, and replied slowly, "I have no idea what you're talking about. Maybe check the packaging. Maybe it's expired or defective." I let the words linger, letting her frustration simmer while maintaining complete calm. Her face turned red with anger, but I refused to rise to the bait. I knew she couldn't argue with me effectively. The proof was right in front of her, yet she couldn't pin it on me. Over the next few days, the atmosphere in the house shifted. Leena became more cautious, less confident in her secret plans, and subtly more aware of my presence and attention. She never admitted what had been in her purse or why it mattered, but the lesson was clear. Her actions were noticed, and I was no longer oblivious. I didn't need to argue, confront, or shame her. The swap had spoken louder than any fight ever could. Eventually, I returned the Lube and Viagra to a secure place, not to enable her actions, but to ensure nothing dangerous occurred. The incident remained unspoken between us, a silent acknowledgement of boundaries, respect, and awareness. She never attempted another secret again, and our relationship subtly recalibrated itself. Trust had been tested, but in a way that allowed me to maintain control, dignity, and subtle authority without resorting to confrontation or cruelty. Reflecting on the episode later, I realized the power of patience, observation, and clever action. Reacting with anger might have led to a fight, a breakup, or long-term resentment. By contrast, my quiet, strategic response delivered a clear message. Deception wouldn't go unnoticed, and consequences could be administered subtly yet effectively. Brilliant Green, in its strange, almost poetic form, became a tool of accountability, harmless but impossible to ignore. The experience taught me several lessons about relationships, trust, and human behavior. First, awareness is crucial. Ignoring signs of deceit allows problems to fester. Second, strategic responses, delivered with calm and intelligence, are often more powerful than emotional confrontations. And third, sometimes humor, cleverness, and patience can correct behavior without destroying the relationship or creating lasting conflict. In the months that followed, our marriage stabilized. Leena seemed to appreciate the boundaries, if only subconsciously, and I felt a renewed sense of control and clarity in our partnership. I didn't need to shout, argue, or humiliate her. The swap had done its work silently. The memory of the incident lingered, a quiet reminder of the importance of vigilance, intelligence, and the subtle power of action over reaction. Looking back, finding the items in her purse could have been the beginning of a confrontation that might have escalated beyond repair. Instead, it became a lesson in cleverness, restraint, and strategic assertion of awareness. I didn't argue. I didn't yell. I didn't create a scene. I acted decisively, effectively, and harmlessly, ensuring the message was delivered and that my dignity remained intact. Even now, the image of her confused, frustrated expression when discovering the swap remains vivid. It was a turning point in our relationship, a moment that redefined boundaries, clarified respect, and reinforced the importance of subtle but effective action. In the end, the Brilliant Green was more than a chemical. It was a symbol of vigilance, strategy, and the quiet assertion of self-respect in the face of betrayal.